Apparently I did mute the mic, BuzzGame. Thank you for pointing that out. I would have been sitting here talking literally to myself, and kind of Paul. He's got headphones on. If you had not pointed that out. I just restarted the stream, so probably it's okay. But you did save me from a lifetime of embarrassment. It is going really well. The light bake looks good. Hey, some game dev, how you doing? The light bake looked really good. When I did the high bake just to see how the shadows and the lighting was. And I'm pretty excited to get these little bastards in here, because the light is an excellent way. Since we've already established that go to the light, it's safe. It's an excellent way to fuck with people right at the end. Plus, Paul is putting together a new jump scare murder zombie for me. Well, BuzzGame. We drank each like a third of a fifth of whiskey, of bourbon. You can't fault me for getting words wrong when I've been drinking bourbon all day. Like, literally all day. We drank all day long. Oh, you know what, Paul? Let me look and see if we already have it. I want to see which are in there. Yeah, it looks like we do have some kind of choking animation already in the zombie pack. Oh, that's neat. They added in... Sure. A friend thing to the Unreal. Yeah, BuzzGame. It'll be hard to remember all of it, because I'm purposefully putting in misdirectors in a bunch of places, and I do often work on it not on stream, like if I'm at home at night working on it. So there is stuff you will not know about. So you feel free to take all the notes you want. It simply won't help you. Well, I don't know if you need to record these streams, BuzzGame. I feel like Twitch may be doing that for you already. And YouTube. And Mixer. And Facebook. Looking good. Looking good. Looking so good. And that's just in the low light. That's without being super lit. You with this, some game dev?
Did you commit the land build?
Not after I did it from lunch. You want me to do that? I can do it now.
Sure. That way I can check it out.
Well, I mean, it's just more for me to see if the brightness was up the right height.
Well, I was gonna like I had a built lights in my room. I can check the performance on it.
Why isn't 6 and 7 showing up? I'll figure that out in a minute. There's a couple of sub-levels that aren't committing. What are you working on? Some game dev? Using Unreal or different engine? And what kind of games do you make? The role-playing game? That's cool. Do you have a link to anything that we could look at? I know this is the least exciting part of it, but we always need to check in Subversion so that way anything that I fuck up can be fixed. Yeah, it is not committing the light from 3 of the sub-levels. Let me see if I can do them individually. All right, all commits done, Paul. Oops. And I'll do a poll just to see if you committed anything. Just started some front end part of the game. The server and the gameplay is done in the cloud. Now it's time to polish this turd. So you're familiar with game dev. Buzz Games app is a noob. You made 3 games using Java and C++ for university projects. Just little, no GUI games. Hey, you know what? Something's better than nothing. I ended up having to hire a bunch of people that had never made a game before. Oof. Damn, one of my last few pistachios is all burnt to shit. Oh, SVN is just fine, some game dev. It was the one that was picked by the engineers in the beginning, is that they knew it the best. I mean, there was, I think it was Perforce or SVN or, what was the other one? There's like a third one that Unreal uses. Do you remember?
Hmm?
Do you remember what the third repo?
GitHub? I don't know.
Yeah, GitHub. Git for life. You know, I never liked Git, but I'm not an engineer, so I need something with a simple, easy to digest interface. And I don't know if Git integration was in it when we first started. I know Subversion and Perforce was. I honestly don't think Git was, but I might be wrong. Easy is always a perspective based. It's easy to people that know how to use it. Just like Linux is easy for people that use Linux. And I am definitely a Windows power user, but Linux, I hate with a fiery passion. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. And I know it has great uses and purposes, and it's very light footprint, low resource use, and all that stuff, but I cannot fucking use it. I can't troubleshoot it. I can't navigate around it, and therefore it makes it useless. If you can use SVN, you can use Git. I know I could. I just don't want to. I'm comfortable in what I know. I'm a middle-aged man, and that's how we end up being. Window. I'm going to throw a content browser over up on my other window. Just for giggles. Alright, so all that did get committed, Paul. I think just because that's still the thing I want to greet the players, we're going to go into checkpoint 7. No, that's going to be checkpoint 6. We're going to grab this and this. And we're going to throw them over here.
Packaging again. See what happens this time.
How many do you think you got rid of?
I don't know. I think I got rid of all but 4 of them.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Well, like, they were like 1 error would give me like 10 error messages. So there weren't really that many, only a few instances. Like the active redirectors from something that doesn't exist that was giving me an issue. So I'm just going to do another go. See if this fixes it. The rest of them were good for an error, so it may not even matter.
That's not bad. When I come around this corner, Paul, fully lit, I've got anywhere from 600 to 1.5 million triangles, and that is with Epic Shadows on. Not bad at all.
Nope.
The occlusion really seems to help too, because when I had it just wide open space.
Yep.
Oh, Buzz Game, you didn't know I had a tattoo? Yeah. Here, goes all the way up. I'll give you that camera's got a little bit better resolution. So it kind of got some gears and cogs and what they call biometal. And then going down the forearm, we've got what my daughter affectionately calls Mr. Skull. There he is, and then an hourglass. It's too bad AMR isn't here. I bet he'd love that. Take off your shirt, Scott! Although AMR seems to be in love with Paul now instead of me. God damn it. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Alright. Jetpack. Game Jolt. Oh crap, I gotta swing by the bank too before they close today. Today's not a bank holiday, is it? Oh, why did I just pop a caramel in my mouth? Wait, did I have that in the wrong sub-level? Nope, I got it in the right one. Did somebody done fuck up AA run?
I hear the chainsaw in the background. Chainsaw. Oh, she got chainsawed in the back.
She playing Outlast?
What's it called? Dead by Daylight?
Oh, Dead by Daylight, yeah.
That's what it's called.
You're gonna doggy tomorrow? You know what? Make sure Emily knows about that, and she will squee until her heart explodes. She's a big puppy fan. Me, I've never been a big pet fan in general, other than when I was a kid. I just kind of, I don't want to say outgrew, because I know loads of adults absolutely love pets, but just for me, it was having a pet wasn't something I really wanted after getting older. Yeah, she's a huge puppy fan. She's probably busy doing stuff. Could not tell you why either. If I tell you something, but don't ban me from chat or the stream, deal. Yeah, why would I ban you, BuzzGame? You'd have to try pretty hard to get me to ban you. BuzzGame. Now I see why you're saying that. It would do no good to ban you from our stream. You would just find some other way. You'd just create another account because you love us so much you'd want to keep watching. But yeah, sleep headaches are no joke, man. Do get more rest. Trust me. There is nothing going on in this world right now that requires anybody to be up as many hours as you are. I know it feels like you're gonna miss out on shit, but trust me. You are not. And you can't be around to enjoy life if you're dead. So be like us. Don't be dead. Hey, Chris and Scott, Will Hoyt. Ever dropped any Easter eggs in games while you're building them? I do. We did all the time on Twaybor. There's a ton of Easter eggs, which are like homages or throwbacks to some of my favorite sci-fi movies over the years. But they are hard to spot, so you have to really go digging for them. Get rid of that guy. Kind of satisfying to see a game being made. You know what? It is. It really is. It's neat and it's fun. Oops. And it is satisfying making games. Now we just need to be satisfied selling games. In the immortal words of Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. No, fuck that. We need to make money. What good is being an awesome game development team if nobody plays any of our games? I do need crouch in for Kate now that I think about it, Paul, because I've got a couple of areas where I'm blocking off specifically that she has to crouch through.
Have you tried pressing left control yet?
I have not.
There you go.
Gosh dang it. Whoops. I have no idea how I did that, but I accidentally popped that toolbar up. When Carrie was playing, it was hard to control the character. Like, it was hard to grab those mushrooms and skulls. Did you guys update that, or is it supposed to be like that? Buzz Game, that was for 2 reasons. She could have solved that herself by just... Her mouse on her Mac is, like, hypersensitive. And so if she just adjusted the mouse sensitivity on her Mac, it's fine. The reason being is Paul is putting in an options menu to change the graphics detail as well as the mouse sensitivity. We did by default make the mouse sensitivity lower now, but on these mice I can just hit a button a couple of times and change the sensitivity down. Excuse me, so we weren't like super worried about it. But of course then you get a playtester that finds a way to bork your stuff. Say, gosh dang it. It works just fine if you just turn the sensitivity down. Dang it. This is going to be probably $8 or $9. It's not going to be a super expensive title. sure everybody still has a tree branch to hang from. Oops. Yep, the zombies are going to follow you. We do have it set up to where they go to the last place that they saw you. So you can evade them, but it won't really help because I'm just going to keep putting more and more of them in. So there'll probably be no fewer than a minimum of 5 or 6 following you at any time towards the end. And if you really suck at life, you're going to have a whole bunch following you. Errors.
Down by 53.
Heads are not by 4 rocks. You think it's iterating? Because that took way less time. That.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So if we crawl into that rock formation, can they do the same, or are they going to be stuck there? They'll be stuck there. The zombies can't crawl. But again, it won't make much of a difference because I'm going to stick zombies everywhere to follow you. Because I'm going to assume players are going to figure out ways to evade them. And just compensate by making sure that you can't really go through, because since the checkpoints are semi-linear and bottlenecked, I can always make sure that you can't get past a certain spot without having some. And by having the maze circle in on itself, you will eventually, most players, casuals, you know who you are probably going to get stuck by circling around, because remember, the longer it goes on, the fewer lights there are, the darker it's going to get, and you're going to turn these corners and be like, fuck, which way did I just come from? And then you're going to round a corner and blah, Larry's your friend. JK, he's not really your friend. What I'm doing right now is just making sure that in the maze, you cannot see straight across anything. So that way you don't really know which direction you're facing or entirely need to go, other than in the distance you will see where the end is. But it's not intended to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. It's intended to piss you off. And one of the ways that I've found is actually rather fun to do it, because originally when I was laying this out, I wasn't really thinking about line of sight. I mean, I was, but just not how I am now, where I was kind of trying to lead players by giving them a straight line. But at this point, I think I'm going to be leading them through false hope, giving them lights in directions they really shouldn't go in. And by the time they realize...
Not all the time, because then they'll catch on and be like, there's light over there.
Yeah, and it's not all the time, because it's a light that I've used just randomly throughout everywhere. It's just in a certain section, I want players to get confused and double back on themselves. Yes, don't die, don't trust the light, but do trust the light because you have to stay in the light or you go insane. So, only trust the light sometimes. TTG, hello? Is it me you're looking for? Yes, TTG, it is you we were looking for. We were just talking smack about your mama. Your mom is so big that when she goes out into space, Earth gets trapped around her gravitational pull. A sciencey your mama joke. Oh, your mom was talking mad smack about me? Yeah? Well, shut up. Buzzgame, what do you mean insane? Only zombies can kill us? No! Buzzgame, haven't you been paying attention? Here, look. There are... two game mechanics to kill you. An NPC kills you, or the light kills you. There are lights throughout that are sanity lights. And when they turn off, you start going insane. You have a sanity meter that goes from 10 down to 0. And the closer it gets to 0, you see the Analinea character doing this creepy, bendy, animated pose, getting closer and closer and closer to you, depending on where your sanity's at, until when your sanity reaches 0, you are killed by her instantly. So you don't just get for forever. You have a finite amount of time that you've got to find your way through the maze. And the sanity lights turn off on a randomized timer between, and you see where those red spheres are. Those are all the sanity lights. Between a minimum of 2 minutes to a maximum of 7 minutes. So you have 7 minutes to try to get between each checkpoint before the lights start going out on you entirely and you die. Now, you can keep your sanity from dropping. You don't get it back. But when you have your light orb going, that stops your sanity from dropping. Nah, it's too cruel. Forgets things easily. That's okay. You haven't played it yet, so and I've played the hell out of it, testing stuff out. I'm not a fan of straightaways. Straightaways mean you know which way to go. Just go straight. Curves are the killer. Just like with women. The more curves, the more likely you are to die. Wah, ah, ah, ah. Not bad. You know what? I don't like that at all. I do need to rid that tree of his home and replace him with a couple of you guys. So those glowy orb things and all lamps are on RNG. All those lamps can be 2 minutes or 7. Correct. So in theory, they could all, if you're just super unlucky, go out at the 2-minute mark. But in the testing that we've done, it's never happened once. So, which again doesn't mean it can't happen. It's just, it's fairly unlikely. Let's get rid of that one. But it helps give two things. It gives a sense of hyper urgency, and it allows no two playthroughs to be the same. Because if all the lights are off in this hallway, odds are you're not going to go down that hallway first. And then that changes which zombies you're going to be killed by. All praise the RNG god. Sacrifice your mice, keyboards, and kittens to RNG, and maybe you'll make it through alive. I just feel naked without a hat. You know what? I'll wear my sombrero. There we go. How festive of me. Yeah, Amber all day. He's so sweet. He always is the nicest thing to me. Nicest things to me. And so I'm phasing out rocks a little bit once it gets further into the murder forest. And the other bit of loveliness is because I've combined two rock meshes together and I'm randomly grouping them, it actually makes it look like so many different types of static meshes, which is funny because I think if we still had artists here, I probably would be requesting, like, I need 10 different kinds of rocks, please. Instead of 3 that all have jagged edges, which can then be formed to make a billion different combinations. It's one of those live and learn moments. And the artists, not really knowing or caring to do any different, would just oblige me. Okay. In 3 months and $80,000 later,
You're gonna have 10 rocks.
I'd have $20 worth of rocks. That's how game development is done. Paul's over there giggling because that's literally what we did with Twaypor. Sometimes I get so turned around on this map, I have to kind of fly above just to see where the hell I'm at. Vary the size, makes them look different as well. And the rocks are pretty sweet because they've got a really well done material on them where it took the LODs perfectly, and you cannot see where the LODs change in engine or in game, which is fantastic.
Right, when this build either cancels, as I've quite canceled a bunch of times and nothing's happened, or I will be doing more build, and I think
Unless something is super fucky?
Yeah, it might be good.
Damn!
We'll see. Or at least I will get rid of the errors before it fails someone's blueprint errors.
Beware the Jabberwock. The claws that bite. The jaws that bite, the claws that scratch. Beware the Jub bird and the fruminous Bandersnatch. I've been trying to remember that line for forever. 'Twas Brillig and the slithy Tove did gyre and gimble upon the wabe. All mimsy were the boar groves and the mome raids outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock. The jaws that bite, the claws that scratch. Beware the Jub bird and the fruminous Bandersnatch. Anybody know that? I'd be impressed. Feeling really good in Murder Forest Part 1. Eventually, no matter where you go, you will question which way you should turn. As you've already learned. YouTube chat okay? Should be. BuzzGame. There's going to be as S to play an Oculus just like AI. Let me take a look. 7 minutes to post that comment. Apparently the chat does not want me to type ass. Oh, it might be. I don't know, like if Restream chat didn't pass it along or if it was flagged or something. I see it there. Oops. Test 1, 2, 3 from BuzzGames app. Maybe it had a timeout or something on it. Emily and AI set that up for us back in the day. But still, nobody guessed what the poem was that I was reciting. It makes me a little sad. I was hoping somebody would at least hazard a guess. Did I play AI before? A game called AI? Oh, Alien Isolation. I'll catch up one of these days. I played about half an hour into it when it originally came out. I was super excited to play it, and that was about the same time that I got my company funded. And so right afterwards, I kind of ran out of time to play anything ever. Save it all out. And I watched Emily play it quite a bit. The name of our company is Strength in Numbers. The more employees we have, the more customers we have, the more games we have, the stronger we are. It is the fact that we have faltered on getting customers has been the hard dickening. It hasn't been a lack of making a quality product, it's been a lack of effective marketing. Hey, add a shotgun in game from Doom as an Easter egg. Yeah, but we could do that stuff. I want to get the game dev finished on it first before I start, because that's one of those things that if you get a little too caught up in it, you know, you'll end up spending what you might not sound like a lot of time, an hour or two, but an hour or two means 2 hours not spent getting your game ready. And at the end of the day, I gotta ship this sucker. Or else my streams are numbered. Dun dun dun. Ideally, I'd like it on Xbox One. I mean, there isn't any reason we couldn't have these on consoles other than just lack of development personnel and money. Those things are hard killers. Did it error?
Yep. But where I thought it was. I was just waiting for it to end so I could start it again and cancel the turn off the one plugin. Update the config file one more time.
Now, does it make it more efficient, or does it make it more better, or like, yeah, like the updates? Does the updates to the engine for this kind of Blueprint Node stuff make the game run better?
No.
It just changed how it functions.
Yeah, there was some stuff that basically they had one where it was 2 nodes and now it's 1 node, or because there was no, you pretty much always called one then the next.
No, I gotcha, Nuketown. I will do everything in my power to make sure this is on as many platforms as possible, because at the end of the day, that just means more opportunities to earn money. like that. That was accidental, but I'm going to do that on purpose. Oh no, you don't get a gun in this game. This isn't that kind of game.
You get a couple abilities.
You get a couple abilities to potentially stay alive longer, but you do not get a gun. You get a stun and a knockback. They will always keep coming after you. The gist of the game is to make it feel more like you're trapped in a nightmare. Nope. No axe. A Kamihamaha or Rasengan? Buzz game, I have no idea what that... did you have a stroke? What are you trying to type? I suspect it's something from like Dragon Ball Z or something like that, but I did not ever watch that as a kid. I'm not going to Google those things. It's going to probably be like giant wiener porn. For all I know, you just made me say out loud something like, let's all have sex in our butts. I mean, that's fine if that's what you're into, but you know, I don't know what you're making me say. You don't own me! Those are from super movies from anime. Oh, I've seen maybe 3, 4 anime titles in my life. It just never really struck with me like it has a lot of people. I've enjoyed some of it. It's just not something that I necessarily ever seek out. There was one called Claymore that I enjoyed. There was one called High School of the Dead, which I thought was fun. But the problem was I was like watching a bunch all in a row, and they just, you know, I don't have a nicer way of saying, but anime definitely suffers from same face syndrome. And just seeing basically the same art over and 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 over again just was not super interesting for me. That's actually, amusingly enough, one of the things that I really liked about Carrie's art is because it struck me as it didn't look like anything I'd ever really seen before. It was like a fresh blend of styles. Don't tell me you're using the same engine which made 7 Days to Die. I don't know what engine they used, but we very could be. Don't mistake thinking that the engine you made the game with has anything to do with the quality of the game, because you can make awesome games with any engine if you're just an awesome developer. Engines make it easier to accomplish these things. Yep. But I guarantee you Paul could make Kate Must Die or Twaybor in not Unreal. You so many different, okay, so if you're saying lag Nuketown, that doesn't have anything to do with the Unreal Engine, nothing at all. that is more about the developers, because something that we've been doing the last several days is optimizing to make sure that there isn't lag in this, or at least video lag. You know, there's nothing you can do. There's only very...
You can look at the difference between like Paragon and PUBG. Like,
yeah, Paul points out, look at the difference between Paragon and PUBG. Paragon was made using Unreal, and it is like flawlessly beautiful and smooth and zero game lag, and the graphics in that are 1,000 times better in PUBG. PUBG was also made using Unreal, but with different developers. So it's more of a function of your team of developers and their experience in using the tool than necessarily the game itself. So, like right now, it was funny. We had somebody who was like, your game looks like it sucks. Yeah, there is a lot of dead guys in here. My Murder Force is coming along nicely. You know, they said, upgrade your graphics. Well, that's because we're looking at an unlit in-engine level being edited. But when we throw on... So then I threw on the lights, and it was like, oh, it does look pretty darn good. Yeah, let's go over where some hanging Larrys are. Where are some hanging Larrys? Here we go. This one in particular, I rather like this lighting, this scene right here.
I'm down to 2 errors, and I think I just fixed them. I will try to stop it now.
And this is with 4,000 unlit objects. So in Editor with the lighting on, even then it runs pretty well with thousands of unlit objects. But I just love this scene right here. This is a beautiful thing. It's also a trap. This is where one of my traps starts.
I think there needs to be some grass there.
Yeah, I haven't done foliage yet. I deleted it all out when I was trying to fix the goddamn landscape.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
So yeah, Nuketown. It's and I'm not trying to lecture you or anything. It's just how good a game isn't necessarily indicated by what engine was being used. And Unreal has facilitated making this development be like ridiculously smooth for us. Paul knows what the hell he's doing, and I finally know what the hell I'm doing. So I think between Paul and I, if we outsourced art, we could probably make just about any game we wanted to. Trump first wall. No, this is not a Trump wall. This is keeping the zombies out, not the Mexicans. Man, Murder Force came along real well. I'm very happy with this. Nice blend of trees. The occlusion is good. I need that a little bit more. Do is just make a new kind of rock wall by combining 2 others. And then tipping it. Buzz game, you need to go to sleep. I swear to God, you will have a stroke. And an unintended side effect of this maze is that, I have no idea why my ears are ringing and blood is pouring out of my nose. And I hear angels and demons whispering at me. It's really weird, guys. Storytelling? We're not really doing much of a storytelling narrative on this one. This is more just for an emotional reaction, for fear. I mean, it tells the story a little bit more of two of the characters of our Twaybor game, but it's not, that's not really like you'd consider a RPG kind of narrative. That is crazy nice.
Halloween's gonna be freaking like December. It's gonna be Christmas. It's gonna be something.
I am fine with that. If I never saw winter again, I would not lose a moment of sleep. I know Emma loves it, but kids are stupid. Kids do not have to shovel a goddamn sidewalk.
Next week, a high of 49 on Wednesday. Yeah, there's what I was expecting. Those are the temperatures I was expecting to see around this year.
I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Nuketown. In-game, AI to the Yumi. How's that? I'm not quite sure what words those are. Oh no, there's music in the game, and there's lots of audio effects and stuff. It's just I'm not putting them in yet because some of the effects are location dependent, and some of them are triggered. So I gotta get my landscape modeled out first. This section is violating my no straightaways for longer than a few feet policy. No bloody guts, no ass. How is this scary? No ass? I don't know what kind of scary asses you've been looking at. There is bloody guts. There are zombies. There are things that whisper to you in the dark. It's more than just having somebody rip your face off with a chainsaw. Yeah, I mean, it's not Outlast, and we're not trying to make Outlast.
Our competition is Emily wants to play.
Yeah, our competition is much different than that. It's jump scare games where the quality of the game is very low. They just banged some stuff out. This is like a blend of Alien Isolation, Emily Wants to Play, games like that. Looking good, Murder Forest. Looking good. No bad guys? Oh no, there's bad guys all over it. I'm not sure if you're aware of what this is, Duke Down. There are bad guys that chase you, there are bad guys that slowly walk after you and murder you, there are bad guys that if you get too close, jump scare kill you. The lights go out, you get lost in a maze, you don't know where you're at, you don't know where you're supposed to go. It's a lovely little psychological thing. I don't know where I am or what's trying to kill me. Nuketown, I'm not going to do a demo right this second. As I want to get more of this level build before I peel out of here. Kristen, I did hire a Michigan-based audio guy to make the soundtrack for one of our other games, or for our other game, two of our other games, Loops of Zen and Twaybor. Right now, I already have all the audio I need for this, so I'm not really outsourcing that. Typically, I do try to outsource to Michigan-based developers, because a long-standing thing was I was trying to make some opportunities here for people. So I've already got real good audio track for this, and I don't want music playing through it for the whole time because silence is really a wonderful thing in scary games, because it allows you to then have jarring sudden sounds kind of come at you. And if there's always a music track playing or an audio track, it kind of just deadens your, your sensitivity to it, I'd say. And it isn't always the case, but that's what I want to do with this one. Alright, so I need one of these groups. See a moon breaking a prut. Lost me there again, Nuketown. And did I grab this already? I did not. Alright, I'm going to sprinkle some of these guys around. Sprinkle, sprinkle! Yeah, so we're going more audio FX than music FX for this. Or, I'm sorry, music.
Alright, there we go.
And we're going to start placing ambient lights around. And of course the trees are going to be dicks, because they're gonna, the leaves are gonna get in the way of my overview. I just want the trees. I want to be able to know where they are, but I want them to be semi-transparent. We're gonna unlock that real quick. What platforms? Well, I know it'll be on PC. Paul and I are trying to figure out the easiest way to get it on Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. We have already registered to be developers for all of those platforms, but the problem becomes timing and engineering of it. Paul, have you ever done anything on like Xbox?
Nope.
No. So ideally,
I need a developer kit that I'm not going to spend the money on.
yeah, ideally, and that's kind of the challenge with like the consoles. I would like to just outsource our console development to a third party to get it all ready, and we just launch it ourselves after I've paid them to develop it. So, or not develop, but port it for us. There we go, that's another good one. Are these all grouped? They are. Because I feel like that doesn't need to be there anymore. Yeah, look at that. Those ambients are pretty tight now. It's a little brighter because they're unbuilt right now, or not baked on. So you got to just keep in mind that once it bakes it on, it's going to be a little bit darker. And this is without, this is right now the only, oh my god, this scene looks so good with the rocks around it now, Paul. Oh, that looks so good. Those rocks light so freaking well. Those are out of the realistic rocks pack that I bought, that they insisted I shouldn't buy. And man, the LODs on those too.
Yep.
That's like LOD 1 right there. There's LOD 2. You don't even see the transition. Like whereas on our rocks, a giant chunk goes missing after you hit. Wah wah.
Still going here. I didn't see any of the errors right at the start like I did before, so that's good.
I'm going to save that out just because do not want to redo work. And these are going to be sanity light actors. Oops. I forgot that already was a group. And since I grouped them before and just unlocked them, I don't have to try and regroup them. I just have to relock them. That would be neat if, like, Unreal featured us as, like, using lighting and ambiance as a game function, or, you know, mechanic. But no, everyone forsakes us. Oh. Those were a little bit low. It's funny because I want there to be hotkeys for stuff that there isn't, but I understand why there aren't just a million hotkeys. And don't get me wrong, I know Paul could definitely handle the development on Unreal Engine. It's just becomes one of those things of time versus cost.
So that's 2 more errors.
Is that for real?
No, it's not actually succeeding, but it's still doing other things, but yeah. There aren't any errors in the blueprint anymore. There are 10,000 warnings, but
You know the one thing about making a maze is that
Yeah,
it's
now staging.
pretty amazing how much fun it is to make a maze. Did you get what I did there? It's amazing when I'm making a maze. So then, should that be uploaded to Steam?
God, no. God, no.
No, I mean like for beta.
Nothing should be done.
Nothing should be done. Where did I just put that semi-underground rock? There it is. Like, I realized I don't really have any rocks that she can just walk over. And so those are deliciously fun to put in, because if the player wants to just jump onto a rock to look around and feel safe, and then you hide a killer zombie on the other side of it. Wasn't safe after all!
Command completed. Archive command started.
So, like, if it cooks out right, what won't be working?
I have no idea. We need to test it. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Richard, QA time. Sorry, Scott. Go fuck
Because
yourself.
there's, like, a bunch of these errors, I'm not sure, are the warnings that Ron would fix. I mean, I don't want to fix all of them, but I won't fix some of them. I don't want to fix 10,000 errors, but it will fix. I mean, it says 74 errors, that was really like 10, 7.
So, like, if you
So
fix...
it's like, if I fix like 100 of them, that'll be like a lot of errors. If I
Or,
fix 100 errors, then the game would be like, yep. Okay. Archiving doesn't take too long, does it?
that's just where it... No. On the build machine, it's normally around 5 minutes.
Cool. This way. Successful. Success.
It's crazy.
I still need to like update this, I think, and since I don't think it's on the latest version.
16.3.
No, the latest version of Playboy. I think there's some updates that need to update.
Oh, I gotcha.
That's why I'm trying to open it. But hey, it's actually hasn't crashed yet.
It's gonna give a Steam error, though.
Yep.
What would happen if you just launched Steam on that box? Because Steam is on that box. This is pretty exciting, folks. Paul moved us 5 engine versions up. Which would actually allow me to do quite a bit with cinematics now that I freaking know how.
Steam is on here.
Yeah.
If I just launch Steam, if it will let me play it.
You may have to log into Steam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You guys don't know what will happen if I try and launch that. It's not in Steam. Because it won't have like Steam stuff in it. Yes. We won't know until we try. But this is exciting. That means next week we can finish up Kate and I can get it actually up and running on 416. We'll then optimize it and we'll be.
Yeah, we never really did a big optimized pass on
We never
Twabor.
did that, especially since we couldn't.
Do LODs and shit. It's always a little more quiet when BuzzGames app isn't alive.
Yeah, looks like I could, if I wanted to, I could log in. Let's see. I don't know what this stuff will be. I'm not logging in. But it also means like it's
We can be platform agnostic?
I don't know. Well, I mean, you would have to turn off the Steam thing, but. Alright, cool. So,
Is that for real?
I don't know, probably.
Did it stage a server in there too?
Huh?
Did-
Probably not. Because I think it just.
'Cause-
I think they're both the same. Yeah, they are both the same.
Hmm.
They just have different settings.
The client and server build is 2 different folders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it have both those in
Oh,
there?
no, just that one.
Oh. Wah, wah. So we still need to build the server then?
Well, I think we need to build both of them.
Hmm.
I think the reason we have to. It's like normally I just create a batch file on server.
very excited. I'm on Daughter Watch 2017. She's getting home after like 10 or 12 days in Tennessee, visiting grandparents with her mother. And I don't usually go that long without seeing my little girl. Let's not suck the ghost of his dick too hard, shall we, Morty? God, I love that show. And I don't think you have to be too terribly intelligent to understand the references. Far be it from what apparently the rest of the world thinks. They aren't that goddamn complicated. It's kind of like saying you need to be really smart to appreciate Big Bang Theory. That is like one of the dumbest pseudoscience shows I have ever seen in my life. They use science buzzwords. No! Well, I know what Monday's swarm will be doing.
I did not build any of them. Like, I just said full test space and like, because we didn't set up any of the maps to
That's the new Twabor.
Hey, look, I'm in here.
No, it's crazy. I'll be right back, everybody.
I mean, I'm on the server or something. I think I'm on the server.
Well, you set it to itself?
I don't know.
Just how did you even log into a server? There's just one running.
No, I am the server. Like, this is just a server. Like, it's just not running a dedicated server.
That is cool.
But hey, we are very close.
I like your bullet trails.
They're connected to the database, maybe.
Probably not, I guess, but
Because it's just connected to whatever it is in that server.
yeah. Because that shouldn't even be pointing to the internal one. But I don't know. All right, all right, all right.
But hey, that is good news. I'm getting out of here. After on that note, have a good time to quit.
Yeah.
Friday.
And I gotta go to the bank anyway before they close, so I'm gonna peace out of here in a minute too. Buy your Szechuan sauce poster? Do you have a URL for it? Did you make a Szechuan sauce poster? I was thinking about going to his Rick as Halloween, or for Halloween.
All right. Have a good weekend.
You as well, Paul. That was a
Really?
spot of really good for today.
That went pretty well. All right.
See ya.
Let me know how that goes.
I will definitely. Oh, I thought it was maybe one that you had made. So that was some good news. I don't know if anybody's other than Kristen is still on stream, but Paul today accomplished something we'd been, I don't want to say putting off, but delaying execution on for a while now, which was getting Twabor, our Prime game, on the newer version of the Unreal Engine. And just for, because we didn't necessarily need it on there, but in an effort to make the IP more valuable, I wanted it to be able to be on the switch as well, which we got approved for. And Paul got the new Unreal Engine version going for us. Heyo! How you doing, Visions? Jumping back in on the tail end of the stream here, unfortunately. I am getting ready to peace out, heading over to TwitchCon. Just finishing up some last minute tweaks that I want to do before I fire off a bake. But yeah, Paul got Twabor on Unreal 4.16. The Murder Forest is looking really good. I'm pretty happy with how this is all shaken down. I was getting frustrated with myself for not being able to get much headway on it for a while. And then just all of a sudden, you know, it started firing for me. And so that's why I'm a little hesitant to just walk away and to at least get this final checkpoint done. Hopefully I haven't moved any trees that had anybody hanging in them. Shit, I did. Is that too high? It is too high. I didn't move that goddamn branch. Do I have them hanging in the wrong spot on all the trees? No. So those are in good. That one's okay. Now I have to fix them. Ah, shit, I'll forget if I don't do it now. Or are they on the wrong branches? Nope, they're on the right branches. I just have them all fucked up. Murder Forest. And I don't really like using the word murder, but that is kind of the intent of this forest. I'll use this opportunity to just move this dude out. Good, 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 good. You know what? I could duplicate that. Stick him. Stick some of these a little closer. Just got to line up the right branches now. Which are... Okay, where did I just put the murder tree? Alright, so if I'm looking at the... I've got those two. What's this? Ah, hell, screw it. I'll get it next time. Kind of cheated a little bit too, because I already know. So, you know, when you look at these things from different directions, people aren't going to really be walking around a tree, inspecting every tree to see if it's the same as the last one. And since the lighting is varied and different, it also gives us a way to kind of cheat how this stuff looks for variety, simply because there's a bunch of it, as well as a bunch of different lights. And I like sticking these bodies over by ways that the player is supposed to walk, because players are not going to super appreciate having to go near things that can potentially kill them. Alright guys, I do have to run to the bank. I don't know if anybody's still watching, but this has been a great development day. We got a lot of really good stuff done. I'm pretty excited for it. You people have a lovely weekend, and I'll give you a big hug and kiss from Los Angeles at TwitchCon. So take care everybody. I'll see y'all real soon. Bye.